4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of the Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the Hare Krishna, chanting of the holy name, and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sanga conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vartna from Atlanta, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vartana Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjri Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Sakhi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji. And with Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Dasi Mataji. And with Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shyamagori Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj Mataji. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Your voice is not that much audible, Mataji. Maybe you are muted or something, but I can see.
Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Too much noise, that's why I muted. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandrat Pranam. This is Banbihani Devi Dasi from Canada. Dandrat Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I didn't catch your name, Mataji. Hare Bol.
Banbihani Devi Dasi from Canada. Hare Krishna.
Babi Harini Devi Dasi Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, it's one Bihari. It's like
one Bihari. One Bihari. Okay. One Bihari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Sorry, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandrat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavas Pranams. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances unto you and all the devotees here. This is Ekaradika Leela Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Ekaradika Leela Devi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, Your Grace, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj is my humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devadasi from Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let's move on to the next. Mataji, can you start the recording? Mataji. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Gaur. Welcome to Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji for enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto 4th chapter 33 verse. Before handing the call to Prabhuji, I would like to hand over the call to Suresh Sham Prabhuji for giving brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Suresh Prabhu, please take over the call.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavatam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhu was born in Maharashtra, brought up in a social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, he developed a natural taste for inquiry into the mysteries of God creation. Passed out from the College of Engineering, Pune, he came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. He found all his questions answered in the books of Srila Prabhupada. As a student of MBA Finance, he studied Srila Prabhupada's books and became a sincere practitioner. He joined the NCDX as an assistant manager and worked for 3 years. Later, he took on a 2-year brahmachari training course in Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. He was in the youth preaching department and was in the seva of guiding the youth. He always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with the youth. So he gave up his job and decided to help the misguided youth by helping them understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. He joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later, he was posted to ISKCON Nasik Temple. He is serving as a youth counselor in various colleges of Nasik. He conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you, Mataji.
Prabhu, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association this morning for enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear. Yes, Prabhu, I can hear you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sujivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminata Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7th, Chapter 4, text number 33. न उद्विग्न चित्तो व्यसनेषु निःस्पृहा श्रुतेषु दृष्टेषु गुणेषु वस्तुदृक् दान्तेन्द्रिय प्राण शरीरति सदा प्रशांत कामो रहिता सुरासुरः. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although Prahlad Maharaj was born in the family of Asura, he himself was not an Asura but a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. Unlike the other Asuras, he was never envious of Vaishnavas. He was not agitated when put in danger, and he was neither directly nor indirectly interested in fruitive activities described in the Vedas. Indeed, he considered everything material to be useless. Therefore, he was completely devoid of material desires. He always controlled his senses, life, air, and being of steady intelligence and determination, he subdued all lusty desires. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. From this verse, we discover that a man is not qualified or disqualified simply by birth. Prahlad Maharaj was an Asura by birth, yet he possessed all the qualities of a perfect Brahmana. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Anyone can become a fully qualified Brahmana under the direction of a spiritual master. Prahlad Maharaj provided a vivid example on how to think of the spiritual master and accept his directions. Come. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. Thank you, everybody, and so grateful to all of you for allowing me to make a presentation on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7th. So we are on chapter 4th of Canto 7. Here, the chapter is entitled as Hiranyakasipu terrorizes the universe. Two things are described in this chapter. First is how Hiranyakashipu hated Lord Vishnu, and because of that hatred, he defeated the Devatas. This is one point that will be covered in this chapter. And second is the exact contrary point, that is the qualities of Prahlad, which arose from love of Lord Vishnu, which he had in his heart. So we see there is hate in Hiranyakashipu, and we see there is love in the heart of Prahlad Maharaj. So hate is giving rise to trying to take revenge against the devotees of Lord Vishnu. And here we see, because of love, we see so many wonderful qualities that have been seen in Prahlad Maharaj. Now, why is this chapter so important for us? Because every chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam is like a magnifying glass, which helps us have a close look at the event. And through that event, we try and understand what are the things where I should be improving. So any event of Srimad Bhagavatam is not just for hearing and not just for reading, neither for explaining, but also for self-analysis. Most of the time we forget that yes, this event is also for my self-analysis. And for that self-analysis, we need a specific viewpoint. Like once I read a story. There was a group of young boys who decided to go for a camping in desert area. And we all know desert is a very rough patch of land where there is lack of food and water, no shelter proper. So there was one boy who was over enthusiastic and he wanted to explore the place. In that enthusiasm of exploring different places, he lost from the group. He lost his touch with the group, and he was all alone in the desert. And while he was all alone for a long time, he could understand it is not very happy and healthy to be away from the main group. And he started feeling very sad and very morose. And it was rough afternoon, very hot. The sand was hot, the sun was very hot, and in that he saw a very huge patch of land which was filled with cactus trees. And while walking through the cactus trees, his pant got stuck and it got torn in that. And he was so sad, he was feeling so morose, and that he lost enthusiasm. No water, no food, and in that this plant has now torn my pant, my leg will get burned because of the sun heat. He was feeling very bad. So he decided, let me sit somewhere and then I'll decide what to do. And as he sat, his mind became peaceful after a while. And as his mind became peaceful, he remembered a small piece of information which he had acquired while he was a very young student in his school life. So he remembered that in his school he was taught that cactus is a plant which has the capacity to hold water at its roots. And immediately, as he understood that yes, there is water in this plant has the capacity of holding water. Immediately, the same cactus which gave him so much pain now became a source of new hope for him. So it was that one bit of information which triggered and which gave him a new aspect, a new viewpoint to see at the entire situation. Same way, Srila Prabhupada at the start of every chapter gives summary. Why? Because we have to understand what we will be finding in this chapter. What are the key highlights? What are the learning of this chapter? So that we develop the right vision to judge our own selves at to what point and what correction I need to be doing on this path of my spiritual development, which at times seems to be very rough, and there seems to be no hope. So every chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but filled with new hope that yes, every day, every moment we can start new once we have the right perspective. So as we know that seventh canto is described as Uti. Uti is inclination of the jiva. So inclination of the jiva is rising from where? It arises from his dealing with the sadhus or devotees. Example, Jai Vijay, who had improper dealing with four Kumaras, and thus they developed a negative inclination or negative desire. On the contrary, we see through our Prahlad Maharaj, he is hearing, respectful hearing from Sri Narad Muni for a long time. He was able to develop a desire of loving service for the Supreme Lord Sri Hari. So that dealings with the devotees gives rise to different inclination in the jiva. So in this chapter, we'll be seeing that how Hiranyakasipu and Prahlad, these are the two characters. But in each we see there is love, and on the other there is hate. One is hopeful, one is fearful. And if we read closely the purports of Srila Prabhupada, we will find that the symptoms of love and hate seem to be very similar. The symptoms of hopeful and fearful seem to be very similar. But the foundation of that understanding is absolutely different. And the results also are absolutely different. For example, in the previous shloka, in the 32nd shloka, we saw that it describes elaborately the divine qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. And the shlokas before the 32nd shloka, we see that there is exclusive description of the demonic behavior of Hiranyakashipu. And throughout the purports, Srila Prabhupada especially highlights on two things. First, his Hiranyakashipu's envy for Lord Vishnu, and second is the huge amount of tapasya that he did to gain a super amount of strength. Now, why he wanted that super amount of strength? There was no other reason exclusively to exhibit his envy towards Lord Vishnu. So Hiranyakashipu's mind is filled with envy for Lord Vishnu. Like in shloka number 1, we see that shloka number 1 speaks about the tapasya of Hiranyakashipu. Now the entire journey is, there is intense tapasya, there is intense power that is being given to him, but it ends up in a very weird condition. So shloka number 1 is doing huge amount of tapasya. Shloka number 4 will tell he performed it out of envy for Lord Varaha. Bhagavati dveshen anusmara bhratravadam. His brother was killed by whom? Bhagavati. Bhagavati is Lord Varahadev. Dveshena, and out of that dvesh, out of that envy for Lord Vishnu, Lord Varahadev, he performed intense tapasya. And he did get the benefits of that tapasya, but at the end we'll see how that journey from huge amount of tapasya to huge amount of lose of sense control. So the journey between that is very interesting to be noted. On the contrary, we see Prahlad Maharaj mind is filled with love for Lord Vishnu. And hence both are exactly displaying the opposite qualities in their behavior. Hiranyakashipu is absolutely dissatisfied in all situations, whereas Prahlad Maharaj is completely satisfied in any situation that he is put in. Now the question arises, what's the depth of Prahlad's satisfaction? In what all situation can Prahlad remain unaffected? This is where the 33rd shloka, the today's shlokas will come into picture. Na udvigna chitta. His chitta was na udvigna. Udvigna is agitated. Na is not. His chitta, his consciousness, his thought process was never agitated. In which conditions did it remain unagitated? Vyasane, shu. Vyasana is difficult situation, dangerous situation, life-threatening situation. He was very peaceful. He was very peaceful. Just like we had one Mataji in Pune temple, and last year she had some terminal disease, and doctors told you have a very short period of time in this body, so it's better you start preparing yourself. And she was very happy because every day she took one line of Srila Prabhupada very seriously. That if you read Krishna book daily before you go to bed, Lord Krishna will personally come to take you. So she was very happy that now Lord Krishna will come to take me as this body ends. So one day, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, he was supposed to go on a tour. So he wouldn't be there for around 3-4 months. So before that, he thought that I should meet this Mataji, take her blessings, and I should tell her or try to motivate her. So thinking this, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, he went to that Mataji, and he told Mataji that I'm going for a tour, preaching tour, and it will take me long time, 3-4 months. I won't be here. So my prayers for you. So you take care of your health, whatever is needed, you tell me. And that Mataji was like smiling, beaming. She said, Prabhuji, don't worry. You go for the tour because this is Srila Prabhupada's desire that every town and village there be preaching, and you're doing that to a very great extent. So I'm grateful to you. Thank you for all your service. Rather, somebody should have said her thank you, but she's saying thank you to Prabhuji. She's saying thank you, Prabhuji, for all your services. Don't worry about me because I am absolutely not disturbed because I am guaranteed by Srila Prabhupada that Lord Krishna will personally come to take me back. Vyasan issue. In such a dangerous condition, this Mataji is no udvigna chitta. Her mind was absolutely unagitated. No thinking, no second thought. Let the body go away because I am damn sure Lord Krishna will personally come because my Guru has said. And this purport, especially Prabhupada, has been highlighting on this point of Guru Ashray. We'll come to that point also. Second is Shruteshu. In which condition is his mind unagitated? See, Chitta means consciousness, and Chitta Prabhupada translates as the thought process regarding identity. What do we think ourselves as? Do I think myself as body? Do I think myself as a soul? So that thought process is also called as chitta, consciousness. What do you think of yourself as a body or soul? So he was absolutely fixed in his eternal consciousness of being a soul, eternal part of Krishna. So nothing could agitate him. Shruteshu, in things heard, what did he hear about? The Shastras glorifying, the Vedas glorifying, going to the heavenly planets by doing pious activities. So he neither was he concerned about any pious activity. Shruteshu, Shruti means the Vedic literatures. So Shruteshu, what he had heard from the Shastras about having a good and healthy and a long life in the heavenly planets, he absolutely was unattracted to that. Drishteshu, Drishteshu is that which is within the purview of my vision. All the object that I can see, touch, smell, all this, the worldly things. Drishteshu, nothing could attract his mind, nothing could agitate his mind, nothing could create turmoil in his mind, nothing could create disturbance in his mind. Guneshu, Guneshu is all the sense objects which come under the purview of guna, three modes of material nature. Nothing could attract or distract the mind of Prahlad Maharaj. Why? What's the word that is being used? Avastu drik. Avastu drik. Drik is seeing. Okay. Seeing as if avastu. Avastu means insufficient. This is what Prabhupada translates. Now, why is he calling this as insufficient? Why has his understanding told that material enjoyment is insufficient? Because he could understand that material enjoyment will not give me deep and nourishing satisfaction. He was thoroughly clear, thoroughly clear. See, the difference between a pure devotee and a sadhaka is simply that pure devotee is fully convinced that there is nothing in this material world which I would like to have and I would like to enjoy. On the contrary, a sadhaka always has some hope that things will get better. I'll be happy, I'll be healthy, I'll be able to enjoy someday with full strength again. This hope in itself is very damaging for spiritual life. And that is why we can't be called as avasturik, because we think that material enjoyment is sufficient to keep me happy here. There is a small example that has been given, just like in a sea, we see in ocean, there is huge amount of water, such huge amount of water, but that sea water, which is saline, cannot afford satisfaction. Rather, if you drink the sea water, it will increase your thirst, causing more suffering and more dissatisfaction. That is for guaranteed, because that's the nature of seawater. Similarly, material enjoyment has the nature, it has an inbuilt nature, and the previous experiences doesn't allow us to understand or take into consideration this previous experiences that we had with material enjoyment. But on the contrary, a small lake which has limited resource of water, it has the capacity to satisfy body and other senses. That's exactly same the difference between material enjoyment and spiritual enjoyment. Material world has unlimited sense objects for all the five senses. Unlimited, unlimited. Just have a look around when you go on the street. Every person that you see has different face. Every person, every animal, every tree, so different. That in itself shows that there is so much of variety, unlimited variety of sense object for eyes. Fragrance, so many varieties of fragrances. Touch, so many varieties in that. Tongue, so much to taste, so much to hear, n number of topics. The entire YouTube, the entire social media is filled with so many things, so many things. Unlimited. You can keep on scrolling for hours together. Unlimited sense objects, unlimited sense enjoyment. But none of the sense object has the power to satisfy the soul completely. Rather, having them again and again creates more agitation and more dissatisfaction. But on the contrary, spiritual enjoyment, just through hearing, just through reading, just through chanting, small amount of that can help us experience that satisfaction. Experience that satisfaction. Now, somebody may have this question that, oh, we have been doing this for a long time, but not all the times we feel that spiritual enjoyment or that satisfaction. The reason simply being is the first point that we took. We are still looking towards material enjoyment to satisfy us. That anchor has to be removed. That hope from the material side has to be removed. Otherwise, we'll never experience any satisfaction in our spiritual practices, because we are not expecting from spiritual practices, rather, we are expecting from our material practices. That is why we at times are not able to experience spiritual happiness. So, this satisfaction of Prahlad Maharaj was so deep, that he was able to control the various aspects of his life. See, today control has been synonymous with being very famous, with being very popular, with being very powerful. But control has always been connected to satisfaction. Control is the byproduct of deep satisfaction. Here, Prahlad Maharaj was able to control Danta. Danta is what? Controlling. Prabhupada translates this. What was he able to control based on the deep satisfaction that he was experiencing? Danta Indriya. First, his senses became automatically controlled. Prana, his Pancha Prana became controlled. Sharira, all the organs of the body became controlled. His intelligence became controlled. And how long? Sada, every moment. We see control somewhere outside. Control is within me. Control comes from that dissatisfaction. Once you are able to control your domain, then we can influence somebody else's domain. So satisfaction is has direct connection with control, because first we have to control our own senses, our own life, our own body, our own intelligence. Then we can help somebody else. Helping the world starts always by helping my own self. Loving the world starts by loving my own self. If I can't love myself, I will never be able to help somebody, never be able to love somebody, never be able to understand somebody. Because my mind is so self-absorbed that forget about thinking of somebody else's pain and pleasure. Because my mind is absorbed in my pain and pleasure. So control has always been byproduct of satisfaction. So first, if we want to seek control, let's start to seek control of our own lives. And that is absolutely possible if we take the spiritual practices sincerely, seriously, without any ulterior motives. This is what Prabhupada used to always repeat. And also on the other side, what happened to Prahlad Maharaj? Mind? Prashanta, his mind was quieted. Rahita, his mind became absolutely peaceful. Pra is prakrishta, not shanta, not calm, absolutely quiet. Absolutely quiet. Rahita and completely devoid of what? Kama, material desires. Means all those past desires which would arise have now completely vanished. Nishpriya. Now, Priya is also desire. Kama is also desire. Now, what does this mean? Is this a repetition? No. Kama is those material desires which troubled me in the past. Nispriya means there is no more generation of any material desires in time to come. That is far more important. Otherwise, the previous backlog and this things to come up will be a very heavy load for me to handle. So that satisfaction, mind is quiet, mind is peaceful, devoid of past desires and the desires which were supposed to come in future. There is no more generation of desires that is happening. Because mind, we all should know, is nothing but a desire producing machine. Just like if you go, in India here we have this water kingdom where there are a lot of water sports, and in there they have a huge tank, and in that tank there is continuously waves are being generated, and people try and float on those waves and try and do something. So, but actually that's a pond. Where do waves come in a pond? So at the bottom of that huge tank, there is a wave generator, and that wave generator continuously generates waves. So in our internal system, in our upakaran, in our antakaran, there is something called as mind, which has been given the task of generating desires. It's as simple as that. Mind can come up with any damn desire. It can be a very good desire. It can be the worst of the desire because it's a wave generator. The mode in which it is functioning, it will generate those kinds of desires because it has been designed to develop desires. So if the element has its nature in generating desires, why worry so much about that? It is doing its work of generating desires. People are so much into mind control. Mind, it will keep on generating desires because it is a desire generator. It is a desire generator. So all these things are seen in Prahlad Maharaj. Where and how and when? All this is happening where? Asura. Although he was born in demoniac family, he was not of demoniac nature. He didn't reflect any demoniac qualities. So if it is possible for Prahlad Maharaj to show or display his divine qualities, godly qualities, staying in the family of Asuras, so I think it should also be possible for us if we follow what Prabhupada writes in his purport. Okay. Now, how did this happen in spite of staying in Asura family? How did Prahlad not reflect any demonic qualities? Now, let's have a look at Srila Prabhupada's purport. Brief purport, but with everything so clear, crystal clear. That's the power of a pure devotee and what he wants to say. In 4 or 5 lines, he has explained everything very clear. Srila Prabhupada in his purport is saying, anyone can become fully qualified Brahmana under the direction of a spiritual master. Prahlad Maharaj has provided a vivid example of two things. Okay. Now, what is the power of a spiritual master? Two things Prabhupada is explaining here. Prahlad Maharaj showed how to think of spiritual master, and second, how to accept his directions calmly. Calmly means without any interpretation, properly trying to understand what he wants to say. So, how to think constantly of the spiritual master and how to accept his directions calmly. If you do these two things, there is nothing that is impossible in this world to be achieved. And we'll take some examples also. So, that's what that's how much difference it makes when you have a bona fide spiritual master. Now, if it is possible to show on the screen, we can take this series of 5 shlokas so other devotees also can see. This is 7th canto, 15th chapter, and 22nd verse till 26th verse. Okay, this is a beautiful series. I think all devotees, this is the same canto, last chapter from 22 to 26, 7, 15, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. This is a superb series and all one line answers, but exclusively everything given in short and brief. Okay, so 7, 15, 22, it starts. This is what Narad Muni suggested. असंकल्पा जयेत काम क्रोधम काम विवर्जन अर्थ अनर्थक चये लोभम भयम तत्व अमर्शनात्. So he's saying, if you want to win over lust, how do you win over lust? Asankalpa. Now, sankalpa means you have to make a firm vow. Asankalpa means without a determined vow. No, that negative is to the kama. Okay, there that not has to be used for the kam, the lust, the desire to say no to lust and lusty activities in itself is a way to overcome lust. Asankalpa jay, just by deciding. Prabhupada gives example on Ekadashi. We decide that I will not eat any grains. I'll just have fruits and water, or sometimes only fruits, or sometimes only water. Just by deciding, we have that strength that till evening we can easily go. After evening, it starts getting difficult, but there are ways and means by which we can overcome. So, asankalpa jayakam, by deciding, we are able to overcome lust. Krodha kama vivarjana, giving up the desire to hurt someone, we can overcome anger. Artha anarthak shaye lobham, understanding the temporary nature of the material objects, just like Prahlad Maharaj had that firm understanding that nothing can give me happiness here, he is fully convinced. And second is disadvantages of accumulating money. By understanding these two things, we can overcome greed. Fourth thing, bhayam tattva avamarshana. How to overcome fear? Understanding the truth that whatever is happening in my life is coming because of my past bad karma. That in itself will drive away all the fear. So this is 22nd shloka. 23rd shloka. Anvikshaya shoka moho damba mahad upasaya yoga antarayan maunena himsam kamadya anihaya. He's saying anvikshaya shoka moho. How to drive away shok and moha? Discussion of spiritual knowledge amongst the association of devotees is the only way to drive away shok and moha, and which will come to this at the end point. Damba mahat upasaya. How to get freedom from dambha, pride, or envy? Serve great devotees and become free from it. Serving great devotees. Yoga antarayan maunena. How to avoid the obstacles on the path of devotional service? Keep silent. There is no need to give opinion time and again on different topics. Have the authorities asked me to speak something on the given topic? If no, then please, let's be silent. Just like YouTube these days, it's sad to see even initiated devotees having their own channel. See, again, this is nothing to make fun or nothing to show them down, but they are posting their videos, posting their own opinion on what the GBCs should be doing and what this devotee should be doing and what that devotee should be doing. See, sir, it's none of our business. Srila Prabhupada has made his GBC to take care of his organization. There are people who will do and who will take charge of the things and they'll handle the things. Nobody has asked your opinion or my opinion on a person. And when it comes to person, somehow we are very quick and very eager. We forget the person on whom we are commenting is not an ordinary person. If you think he has made a mistake, it may be so, it may be real, but we are not the one who should be commenting on that. We are not the person. And that too publicly, it's a family issue. It's an issue related to our organization. If you want to speak, we should be speaking to the authorities. It's not on a public domain that we are sharing that he is wrong and the GPC has taken a wrong stand. It's only the most easiest way to damage our spiritual life. Absolute easiest way to damage our spiritual life and tarnish the image of the organization. Yoga antarayan maunena, keep silent. If that event or that thing is troubling so much, there are senior people with whom you can discuss and contribute by giving your opinion. Otherwise, let's keep mauna. Let's keep silent. Himsam kama di anihaya. How to stop himsa or envy? Stop unnecessary sense enjoyment. Whatever is required, be happy with that. Anvikshaya. This is being told after what? Considering Atma and matter, spirit and matter. Anvikshaya, understanding of spirit. 24th shloka. Kripaya bhutajam dukkha. When there is suffering from other jivas, how do we free ourselves from that suffering? Being kind to them and being free from envy. You have to be kind because in the last shloka we saw, these are all our karma, past karma. These are all our past karma. Daivam jayat samadhina. Suffering due to bad karma, how will be the release? Just by chanting the mantra that is being given to you by your spiritual master. Meditate on that. Meditate on the meaning of that mantra. Atmajam yoga viryena. How can the mind be controlled? Atmajam yoga viryena, by the power of pranayam and hatha yoga, or by chanting the holy names or reading the spiritual text. How to conquer sleep? Nidram sattvam nishevaya. Nidra can be conquered by developing mode of goodness and by desire to help other jivas. Nidra can. Why? How? By helping other jivas? Because mind will be constantly thinking about how to help others, and that is how we can overcome sleep. Now, in all the three shlokas, there is one common thing: giving up envy, giving up envy. So, a common factor. Now, let's take the last two shlokas. Very important. Now, we all know that all the things that the anarthas which we saw in the last three shlokas are nothing but the effect of the three modes. This is very clear. Three modes will create the constituting results, corresponding results. If there is rajaguna, there is anger, there is lust, there is greed, and so on and so forth. Now, how do I handle this three modes? 7, 15, 25. Rajas tamascha satvena. How can raja and tama be conquered by satvena? You have to come to the mode of sattva. Sattvam cha upashamena cha. And how to conquer the mode of goodness? You have to rise to the level of shuddha sattva. Etat sarvam, all the above, 22, 23, 24, and 25. All the above, etat sarvam, all the above said things which are troubling us in our spiritual life, etat sarvam guru bhaktya. All the above things can be achieved by Guru Bhakti, by Guru Nishta. And how? Purusho hi anjasa jayet. The effect of three modes of material nature can be easily anjasa, very quickly conquered. Purusha, by a person. Jayet, he can conquer over the three modes by Guru Bhaktya, by following the instructions of the spiritual master. So simple. You may go here, you may go there. All good, sir. Do whatever is required. You go to this Brahman, you go to this Purohit, you go to this astrologer, you show here, you show there. It's all good. You can do, you can try. It's okay if that's keeping your mind peaceful. Okay. But at the end, till the time we take shelter of our own spiritual master, etat sarvam guru bhaktya. Even for that karmakanda puja to fructify, the person, the Brahman will first ask you, who is your guru? He has to ask, otherwise he is not a proper Brahman. He will first ask you, who is your guru? And if you tell him that I am from a Vaishnava Sampradaya, I have so and so guru, he will say, sir, you are in the wrong place. Because it is your guru who will have to help you here. No other process may or may not be able to help you, but your guru can surely help. And I can tell you n number of examples where devotees have gone here and there. At the end, they have been told, sir, you please pray to your spiritual master. He'll send you all help. And there has been help. Etat sarvam guru bhaktya. All the above can be achieved by guru bhakti. But there is one problem. 26th and final shloka. Yasya sakshat bhagavati ज्ञान दीप प्रदे गुरु मर्त्य साधि श्रुतम तस्य सर्वम kunjara शौचवत. But all that we have got from the guru becomes like bathing of elephant. Why? Because yasya sakshat bhagavati, we forget that my spiritual master is sakshat bhagavati, is sakshat hari. Jnana deepa prada guru, and he has given me that transcendental knowledge for enlightenment. But the problem is martya sadhi, my martya buddhi. When I hear from my spiritual master, I feel he looks like me, he speaks like me, he walks like me, everything looks like me. He is an ordinary martya sadhi, the martya buddhi. Everything will be frustrated, like sarva kunjara shauchava, like the bathing of elephant. How much ever you study the Shastras, how much ever you seek for enlightenment, how many ever number of rounds you chant, how much ever sense control you have, sir, everything becomes kunjara shaucha if martya siddhi shrutam tasya, if there is martya buddhi in regards to my spiritual master. So how should a disciple approach his guru? There is something called as vatsanyaya. Vatsanyaya means the logic of a calf. Calf wants milk from the cow. Similarly, disciple approaches guru for some spiritual enlightenment or knowledge which can nourish him in his spiritual life. So there are three rules for a calf if he wants to get milk. First thing, he has to bow down, he has to kneel on his feet. He has to kneel because the udder is at a lower position. You cannot keep your head straight and try and drink the milk. The udder is at the bottom. You have to bow down, you have to kneel. Similarly, when the disciple bows down to his spiritual master, only then the disciple will receive milk in the form of knowledge. Humility is the door to success in spiritual life. One who can bow down, one who can kneel before the spiritual master can only get the milk of enlightenment. Otherwise, sir, there is no question. And if you're thinking you're enlightened, then that is something you should take it very seriously, because that's not the right thing. Because that's not what Shastras are giving you. Now, second thing, if milk doesn't flow, then the calf, or if the calf has had his share, but if it wants more, what should the calf do? The calf gently keeps on pushing the udder of the mother cow. So when you have doubts, you should push, you should show enthusiasm. This is my doubt, please clear this. This is my doubt, please clear this. So that enthusiasm of drinking makes the mother flow more milk. So this enthusiasm to get more from Guru, along with the previous humility, will give you more and more nourishment and more enlightenment in spiritual life. Third point, the problem happens when the cow sees now that the calf has started to grow, and the calf has started to grow horns. This is the time when the mother cow stops giving milk, because those horns are hurting the guru, the cow. Sometimes disciple thinks I am intelligent. Disciple thinks I am so great. I am so sense controlled. And that hurts the guru. Because somewhere that feeling that I know Shastras better than my Guru is a feeling of hurt, not because you're trying to show your Guru down, because Krishna will be displeased by that attitude and that behavior. That is the time when the Guru shows there is no more milk. Now you start eating that dry grass. You don't need my milk. You want to survive on your pride. That dry grass is sufficient to keep you proud enough. And the mother cow leaves. There is no more milk. So Prahlad Maharaj in every situation was so humble, so humble. He didn't think of anything else than his Guru. Every moment he's thinking of his Guru. Every moment he's thinking, because of my Guru, I'm able to see Krishna. Because of my Guru, I'm able to think of Krishna. He's Acharya of Smaran. How is he able to do that Smaran? Because every moment he's displaying his gratitude to his own Guru, Sri Narad Muni. He's that humble to accept that I don't know anything. Whatever I am able to do is only because of you. So anytime we have to remain humble before our Guru. And that is where divine protection flows in. Because somehow there are n number of books available online, and there are so many commentaries, and the best part is we can read and we have some slight understanding of the Shastras, and I understand Sanskrit a little bit, so I can dive deep, sir, but that won't nourish you. It will only make you a hard-hearted person, wherein we'll always be trying to show, see, I know this much. And you'll always be wanting more and more of name, fame, and respect. One beautiful pastime I heard from, uh, um, I remember it. Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj was narrating this in one of his Bhagavatam classes. He was saying that His Grace Haigriva Prabhu, one of the first disciples of Srila Prabhupada, and Haigriva Prabhu was the main editor of Srila Prabhupada books, because Prabhupada was writing in English and he was into English. So he wanted, and he was doing this service of editing Srila Prabhupada books. So he had one question, burning question, and he always wanted to ask, because he had been editing Prabhupada books for a long time. And he wanted to ask Srila Prabhupada. So one day Prabhupada came to the temple and he gathered all his courage and he asked Prabhupada how to understand that the spiritual master is so perfect, how to understand that he is so perfect, and in spite of his perfection, I have to correct his mistakes whole day. How do I understand that my spiritual master is perfect if I have to correct his mistakes whole day? Srila Prabhupada smiled. Srila Prabhupada said, yes. From English point of view, it may be a mistake. But from Krishna's point of view, it is always correct because my intention is completely pure. Don't judge your Guru on his externals, whether he can speak English, whether he's Indian bodied, whether he's Western bodied, whether he's doing this, whether he's doing that. We haven't come here to judge anybody. Srila Prabhupada always said ISKCON is a hospital. Let's try and have a look at the anarthas which we have to deal with. That's more important than correcting somebody else. There will always be a temptation to look at the spiritual master as a human, as an ordinary person. So here Narad Muni is saying, you should look at Sri Guru as the supreme personality of Godhead himself. We may feel, Arey, what he's doing, I also can do. That we have to be very careful. We see that Guru Maharajas, God brothers are dealing with him in different ways. You can't deal like that, because you have to treat him as Sakshat Hari. If we don't treat him as Sakshat Hari, it will create super havoc in our spiritual life. And the example given is like bathing of elephant. You chant n number of rounds, you chant n number of hours, you read n number of hours, hear n number of hours. It will be useless. Why? Like bathing of elephant. You will clean your mind with great sadhana. But if there is no respect for Guru, it is like throwing mud. So disrespect to Guru is directly connected to offense to holy name. Third offense to holy name. That mistake we don't have to do. That's the only thing we should be avoiding, because it is only and only when Shri Guru recommends that yes, I want Krishna you to that you take this devotee back to spiritual world, then whether you are qualified, you are unqualified, how does it matter? Because the soul is anyway a pure person. It doesn't matter. The covering can be burnt to ashes within no time. What is tested is how do you deal with your spiritual master, because the Antaranga Shakti, Srimati Radharani, won't allow you to directly interact with Krishna. She will never allow you to directly interact with Krishna. She will test you through your Guru and check out how you deal with your Guru. That's the only way Shastra speaks. Radharani will never allow you to go close to Krishna. She will allow Guru as an instrument to be tested, and accordingly, how you deal, how you respect, how you serve your spiritual master and his instructions, she will give you access to Krishna. That's how it is. That's how important Guru is. And we make mistakes like your Hiranyakasipu does. Look at the misfortune of Hiranyakasipu. Shloka number 4, Srila Prabhupada has written, Hiranyakashipu has everything, has got everything. 5th shloka, he is named as Vishwajit. He has conquered the 14 planetary systems. Shloka number 8, he is being residing in the palace of Indra. And still, he is not able to overcome his envy for Lord Krishna. He is not able. Why? Because there is no Ashirwad of Brahmaji. His names he was chanting. He blessed him with material strength, but he didn't bless him with that satisfaction after such huge amount of sadhana. What sadhana Hiranyakashipu has done, till date nobody has been able to do. He superseded the Saptarishis. None of the Saptarishis could do anything. They couldn't harm him in any way. He was that powerful. Forget about demigods. Demigods are like weaklings before the Saptarishis. He took over the Saptarishis. That's the amount of power he had. But look at his misfortune. His envy to Lord Hari didn't go. And how did his envy manifest? You may ask, where is he envious? His envy manifested by punishing those who were connected to Lord Vishnu. Shloka number 12. He suppressed and oppressed all the demigods. And who are his demigods? They're all representatives of Lord Vishnu. I can directly not fight with Vishnu, so let me trouble these people. He punished them for every small thing if they disobeyed slightly. They had to bow down before him every time they met. This is the act of suppression. And this act of suppressing the subordinates or people whom with we stay is nothing but sign of envy. Demigods forgot to bow down before Guru. Now here they are bowing down before Hiranyakashipu. We don't bow down to our spiritual master. We'll have to bow down for a long time to somebody who won't allow you to practice spiritual life peacefully. Here all the demigods are suppressed, super suppressed. And that is how envy works. When we can't directly deal with the person who is the root cause of envy, we try to satisfy the mind by badly dealing with those who are connected to that person. And at times we see this in devotee communities as well. And we have to be very careful in dealing with those who are dependent on us. Then may it be your family, may it be your community devotees or any group, because they are directly representatives of Shri Guru. So when Guru is pleased, we can get everything. And pleasing Guru is the only tapasya we have to do. And Guru doesn't easily give this benediction, Varan, because he is reluctant. Why? Brahmaji was reluctant to give Hiranyakashipu, but he was so obstinate. He gave him that benediction. Why? Shloka number 2 makes it very clear. The cost of maintaining that benediction is very high. It is so high that he won't be able to enjoy his life peacefully. And that is what exactly happened. Difficult means what? He won't be able to get the best out of what he has achieved for himself and his followers. He won't be able to help himself, neither those who are dependent on him. Just like in Ramayana, there is a story of a person known as Dandaka. We know Dandakaranya. So Dandakaranya comes from the person named Dandaka, and he is from Ikshvaku dynasty. Ikshvaku dynasty is the dynasty in which Lord Ram took birth. Okay, he comes in the lineage of. Now look at this person's story. What happens when Guru, just like we saw the role of Guru, but when the Guru, let's see the other part also. If the Guru doesn't do his part, what happens? What mishap can happen? Dandaka, when he was thrown out of the Ishwaku dynasty because of his cruel behavior, he was another Anga or super version of Anga. Not Anga, sorry, Vena, Raja Vena, King Vena. So he was thrown out of because every person complained about him. And when every person complained, the king said, "You are of no good use, get out of this place." So he was thrown out. So he always wanted to have a kingdom of his own where he will be the ruler. There is nobody else, no competitor. And that is where he enters in this forest area called as Dandakar. After it was named after him. So this forest he comes. And he sees that there are all Rakshasas, this, that, and he makes friends with them, and they say, let's rule this place now, and they all come together. See, one part between good people and bad people is good people take a long time to come to a common conclusion or common opinion or common decision, but bad people are super fast, and this is what gives them a grand success. Dandaka and all the asuras quick because they had one agenda: exploit and rule everybody together. Now they wanted somebody who can guide them. So they all went to Shukracharya. So they took Shukracharya as their guru. Now Shukracharya we know is a super powerful person. He is super powerful. Krishna says in Karmakandi Brahmana, I am Shukracharya. Now when they go to Shukracharya, Shukracharya accepts them as his disciples. Now it is the duty of the guru to train them. Shukracharya made them dependent. Shukracharya should have trained them to function independently. For every small things, they used to come to Shukracharya, do this, this is happening, that is happening. And Shukracharya used to do because after doing that, Shukracharya was glorified, and that glorification gave him such soothing emotions. Oh, I am so great. And this kept all his disciples very weak. Why? Because as a guru, he wanted to become famous. He wanted to have name, fame, prestige, all glorifying, giving different gifts. And over a period of time, all the demons glorified Shukracharya hugely because he used his strength for them, but he didn't strengthen them, he didn't empower them. And one day, what happens is because now they are not trained in sense control, they are not trained because everything has been done by their guru. So one day, this Dandaka he is now absolutely an animal. He's roaming, hunting animals, and there he sees one beautiful girl. And as soon as he sees, he is not able to control his emotion. He starts following her, and that girl sees that somebody is following. She immediately rushes to her house. She enters the house, and at the gate, he understands that entering this place is no less than killing oneself. But his emotions were so untrained, his mind was so untrained because till date everything was done based on the strength of Guru was doing for me. Guru kept me untrained because Guru was glorified. He understood that she was Shukracharya's daughter, but he was so untrained, he became like an animal. And just like an animal devours a small animal, he devoured her. And running aghast, she goes back to her father. And when her father sees that she is in such pathetic condition, she asks, "Who is this?" And she tells it, Dandak. Immediately on that spot, Shukracharya curses the entire Dandakaranya. He says this place will be burned to ashes. Everybody staying here will be burned to ashes. There will be nobody left. And in future, this place will be infested by horrific, horrific demons. And later, the sadhus who will come here will be tormented by these asuras. And that is where when Lord Ram enters the Dandakaranya forest, the sages go crying to Lord Ram. And they show Lord Ram a heap of skulls and bones, human skulls and bones. And Lord Ram is aghast. Why? Because they are all humans, they are all sages. And when Lord Ram sees, he starts crying. And when Lord Ram is crying, Sita and Lakshman also start crying. And Lord Ram takes a vow there, holding his bow strongly in his hand. He says, I'll devour all the demons. But one person, all the sages are happy. Only one person is unhappy, that is Sita. Why? Because she's more concerned about Lord Ram. What is she concerned about Lord Ram? She says in life, a wife is like a coach, like a guide, like a helpful person. And we are forest dwellers. We are not kings anymore. So if you start fighting unnecessarily, it will be harm on your part, Lord Ram. So please be aware. And that is why she's so unhappy. Then Lord Ram makes her understand that we stay in the forest, but we are not vanaprastha, we are vanavasi. Okay, and this domain also belongs to Bharat, and I am the representative of Bharat. So as a Kshatriya, I can kill all these demons. See, even Lord Ram at times needs to be corrected. Shukracharya forgot to correct his own disciples, and look at the chaos that took place. On the contrary, we see Hanumanji had also so much strength, and he initially misused, so he was cursed. Forget. But later he was reminded, and that is where he used his strength to unite Sita and Ram. Hiranyakasipu had so much strength, he protected himself from outside. Aditya, Rudra, Vasu all came with gift. Narada singing his glories. But he forgot that the enemy was not outside, the enemy was inside. That is his uncontrolled mind. Ekarat, Vishayan Priyan, he was the one emperor of the entire creation, but he was so dissatisfied. So last point will conclude. So we have to understand what we get by service to Guru. Krishna will provide two things when we serve Shri Guru nicely. That is Anubhuti, the deep enriching experiences of spiritual life. And second thing is Preeti, that affection for Lord Krishna. And when this is gone, when these two things we get as gift from Lord Krishna, when we have affection which nourishes us, then we can contribute in our own lives, and also we can contribute in the lives of those who are dependent on us. So Guru will provide what? To get constantly nourished? The association of devotees. Matchitta, madgata prana, bodhayanta parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam, tushyanti cha, ramanti cha. Matchitta, madgat prana. Chitta engaged in Krishna. Madgat prana, you make Krishna your prana. But before making Krishna your prana, we have to make that Matgat prana as Guru Gata prana. Till we become Guru Gata prana, there is no Bodhayanta, there is no Kathayanta, there is no Tushyanti, there is no Ramanti. And when there is no Tushyanti, satisfaction, and when there is no Ramanti, the mind is not peaceful. Where is the question of spiritual development? Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Hari Prabhu, what a wonderfully packed, very nice stories. And two things, Prabhu, it is like we have to be very, very understand, very serving Guru and with all the devotion, then automatically the preeti for love for Krishna automatically develops. I think that is the essence completely, that it's we should be very, very with humility and serving Guru, bow down to the Guru and humility, and also started to go and gently ask questions of what to clarify ourselves to with enthusiasm. So thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Bol. I see Sukkar Krishna Prabhuji raised hand. Prabhu, you have time for questions,
Yes,
Prabhu?
yes, we have 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
Sukkar Krishna Prabhu, please go ahead, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Padma Mataji. Thank you,
Ani-
Sukumar Gaur Prabhu. You're such a self-realized person. You are a pure devotee.
Thank you
You're
for
such
such
a wonderful disciple of Radhanath Maharaj from Pune. So we got all quality. So Prabhu, just pray for all of us that we also, go back home in this life. So one thing is, see, we are reading every day to get purified, our desires, these and all. So one good thing I got the point is every day to read Prabhupada Krishna book. I just took the new book.
Hare
From
Krishna.
today, I promise to read at least one story or one katha, one page, something I'll read, because
Yes.
you said who will read every day? Prabhupada will take that. But no shortcut. I've also chant. But of course, chanting, the taste is not increasing. It is just remaining. But still, I know that unless I cry to Krishna, I cannot chant Brahman. I don't know how to cry. Can I cry to cry? What do you mean by cry? Means I should literally cry. Krishna, please get, I want to chant better. Is it literally crying or just going near the Vigraha and just silently cry? I don't know what. Prabhupada, if you don't know how to cry, then cry to cry to cry. So should I, if I shout loudly, my wife will say, what has gone wrong? Where are you doing? Are you acting? She will ask. But I don't know. But I want to cry. I want to. But what you said is this all these desires are, you said my mind is a good machine of desires. Now the way we block, suppose somebody we don't want to deal, we block that group. No, we don't allow, but that we cannot do with the mind because that is inside. And so the machine, it keeps on coming some desire, but not so bad desires, but still materially there is a feeling that yes, I'm a chartered accountant, anything happens, at least I can definitely get some money, not to worry. I got some contacts. My daughter and son-in-law to make good money. So I am still not having full faith in Krishna. Still I have something, devotee bhi hai. Kuch hoega, I can go to Mayapur, Guru Maharaj will give some job. Why you should worry about that? I should not think of that at all now, already 65. But still in the mind, so many thoughts keep going on. Then how will I remember Krishna while dying? Then they say Sadhu Sanga. But Sadhu Sanga is not there when we die, maybe in the night time or so. Today I got the thing that if I read Krishna only, there is one point I will not read. And the other thing, can you give some tips that how to get that when you chant, you really become happy? But I'm getting happiness in hearing Katha. When I heard this 1 hour, it was absolutely so nectar. But holy name mein nectar hai, lekin nectar nahi mil raha hai. If somebody brings misri, I chant. Misri kha ke dekhu, chanting. I cannot tell lies. I found misri is more sweeter than chanting. So, hame to misri nahi laga. Sorry, I'm openly asking someone. Don't feel I'm like a madman asking. But because I thought there's no sort of false ego, nothing. हम तो एकदम नंगा हो गया अभी अपने को पास करना है कैसे भी पास करना है nothing wrong जितना भी सीए पढ़ा वो सब वेस्ट अभी मर गया तो again I have to start from A for apple, B for biscuit, again 10 kilo you have to carry to the school, then 10th class, 12th admission, again IIT, JEE. You don't know whether again Prabhupada will come on the line. So ये बार तो निकलना पड़ेगा. Somehow we have to get out. I asked everybody, don't feel bad that Prabhu asked only this question. Please save me, Prabhu, please. मैं थक गया प्रभु, वो थक ही गया.
Yes, this I'll repeat what I heard from my spiritual master. See, this best part of Grahastha life, Prabhuji, you have to first focus there. Best part of Grahastha life is the experiences that you go through throughout whatever time you spend in your family for whatever years. If somebody can reach this understanding, or if somebody can come to this understanding that there is no pleasure here, if he's convinced that nothing doing, there is absolutely no pleasure in this material world, in this material relationship. There is pleasure, but it is very, very meager. If somebody can come to that conclusion, that in itself is success of your spiritual life. Once you come to that conclusion, then rest everything will depend on Krishna. How to give you taste, when to give you taste, how much taste you have to be given, that is not your domain. Our domain is to come to the realization that there is nothing in the spiritual world. The earlier we come, the better we can take shelter of the holy.
The only one, that's not happening. I'm not able to
So
take
that
shelter.
will happen because, see, it is not happening. ऐसा नहीं है, वो हो रहा है, but somewhere we are not able to perceive it. Either we are not able to perceive it, or we are trying to, जैसे पश्चन न पश्यति, देखकर अनदेखा करना. So either of these two things happen, and that is where we feel कि अरे नहीं हो रहा है. नहीं, it is happening. Are you aware? युक्त आहार, युक्त विहार, युक्त कर्म, युक्त चेष्टा, युक्त स्वप्न, युक्त अवबोध. What is avabodh? Avabodh is defined by Acharya as awareness. These things are happening to me. I am aware. That in itself is a grand success.
Nahin.
That itself is a success. Being aware is a success.
But I'm afraid, Prabhu. Aware hai, but I have no faith in me कि मैं pass करूँगा कि नहीं, whether I'll be able to Antakale will come or not.
Anyways, passing is not our domain. Passing has never been the domain of the Jiva. And do you think a Kali Yuga Jiva can pass on his own? There is no scope. That is why this entire shloka which we took is only speaking about the mercy of Guru. If Guru recommends, Krishna cannot stop, Radharani cannot stop. So our endeavor should be to follow the instructions of Guru to the best possible extent. That's the success. Keep definitions very, very clear. What is
But I'm not in
expected
touch with, I'm not in touch with Guru. Guru is not well now. Japtak Maharaj, I'm not in touch.
It's
I'm
okay.
just following
If
what he
Guru is
has
not
told.
there, Guru's lectures are there, Guru's previous recordings are there, Guru's instructions are already being given. He has been repeating the same instructions times and again. So let's check out, where am I? How far am I? How close have I come? That in itself will give you so much strength, enthusiasm to keep on moving. It doesn't necessitate that. And see, what we see is the physical body of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. You come to level 2, where he is guiding you every moment on a spiritual platform. For us, his spirit, his material, his body doesn't matter, because he is himself a liberated soul. He is Lord Chaitanya's man. He is accessible every moment. Where is the question of body coming in between? Body coming in between means I haven't understood my spiritual master perfectly. I still feel he is limited. Spiritual master is unlimited. He is a tattva. He is not a person.
Thank you,
Okay.
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
I heard one small story from your Braj Bihari Prabhu. I liked it so much. He told one king was there. He was trying to find out how the people think about it. If he goes in different pictures, and you'll ask, how do you have the king? Somebody say, very good, we love. Somebody say, he's okay, not bad. So one day he goes and meets one person. He was a blind man. So he said, how do you like the king? So he said, the king is really good. Will you please help me? He said, what? I want you to take me to my king. So this king did not say, I'm here. He told, if you have to see the king, you have to come with me 3-4 hours. Why? He said, it's very far and you have to walk inside the water in that mountain. 4 घंटा उसको चला गया. He took him somewhere and said, Guru, now the king has come. He said, can you please make me to talk to him? Then he said, let me tell you, I am the king. He said, then why did you take 4 hours for me to come here and there? I wanted to see whether you are intent, you got so much faith in the Guru, the king, to come and see. Then he said, I'm so happy. He said, I'm going to give you one gift. He said, what? I'm going to give a vision back. He said, how? Yeah. the God has given. So he gave the vision back. He opened his eyes and saw. Then he said, now you are really such a great king. So then Prabhupada said, this is to just show that we are all blind men. We are not able to see. Krishna is everywhere. But we are just trying to say, where is Krishna? So this vision can be removed only by Krishna. If you have the intent to go for 4 or 5 hours and walk and meet and then touch, then he can remove the cover of Maya, which is the blindness. The spiritual blindness will become real vision, like that he told. So I liked it so much. Sorry, I took some time, but I wanted to share.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bahut dhanyawad, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Please keep me in your prayers, Prabhu. Sukumar Prabhu.
Yes.
Because I know Pune devotees are so good. And even Radhesham Prabhu also, I love him so much. I'll come to Pune soon, Prabhu. Thank you, Padmavati. I took some time. Hare Krishna.
No problem, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Prabhu chat mein, there is a question from Jyoti Mataji. Please, Prabhuji, please explain deep satisfaction and the last 2 gifts Krishna gives one who serves the spiritual master. Could you please speak on it?
Last 2 gifts which Krishna gives is first is Anubhuti. Yes, Anubhuti means experiences in spiritual life, so that we come to a proper conclusion. And second is Preeti, that is affection for the Lord. And once there is affection, then it's very easy to see God everywhere. Just like a mother can see her child, even if the child is not present before her, she continues thinking about the child. That Preeti, that affection is given by the Lord. And deep satisfaction means there are no new desires that will be coming up, or if I get this, then I'll be happy. If I get that, then I'll be happy. That mindset won't come, because we are so deeply satisfied within that there is nothing external, there is no object externally which can satisfy, which can give me satisfaction, because this internal satisfaction is Krishna himself. 7th chapter, Krishna says is balam balavatam chaham kam raga vivarjitam. Kama means desire. Raga means attachment. There is no desire for self. There is no attachment for my own things, for my own pleasure. So these 2 things, that strength, that nourishment, that deep satisfaction is Krishna himself. So in deep satisfaction, we don't want anything for our own self. We want to do everything for Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes.
There is Lalita Mataji, Tiffany Mataji also mentioned that thank you for beautiful class, Prabhu. I have to leave for work, but I'm so grateful for your association, Sukumar Gaur Prabhu. Such a beautiful service. And Lalita Mataji and Dinabandhu Prabhu, they have deep, heartfelt gratitude for you. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru means heavy. Your presentation has deeply impressed upon us all to continually approach our divine spiritual master and beg for some unity to manifest by such extraordinary association as we are awarded by your kindness and your imparting with such a clarity of how to progress. Thank you so much, and so grateful, Prabhu. Servants,
thanks to both of them that they every time come and make themselves so easily accessible. They're Srila Prabhupada's disciple. It's so rare to see them, but every time I come, I have their darshan. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Radha Jyoti Mataji as Prabhuji, that is the higher taste, is it? I think this is
something like higher taste, which will nourish the soul.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Bhagavati Harini Mataji saying, thank you, wonderful for your question and excellent answer, Prabhu. I think this is from Sukumar Krishna Prabhu's question and answer. Yeah, I don't see any more raised hands.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so let's pay our obeisance.
Eternally grateful to you. I'm sorry I was not able to find.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the beautiful class. I'm very grateful to you.
Wonderful.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Radhe Radhe. Nityananda.
Radhe Radhe.
Gauranga. Nityananda.
Radhe Radhe.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.